It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Had a real fun show Thursday, but one of the things that just kind of still sticks with me is imagine buying a car with cash, like from a private party, and it's an absolute lemon. Like you barely drive it away and it blows up. We had this happen to a listener, and you got to hear the complete story. Coming up in the podcast, let's go. As soon as we said Psychic Kim's on next, Leah was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And she was first through. Hi, Leah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So what would you like to talk to Psychic Kim about? This is about your mother-in-law, huh?
Yeah, I want to know when she's going to move out.
Straight up.
She's going to drag her feet. I see dragging my feet. You're going to have to really give her a little push, give her a little nudge. What I hear is lack of self-confidence. I don't know what that's about, but I'm hearing lack of self-confidence. I see you guys giving her a shove, but it doesn't look like a mean shove. It's more like here you go, like we're helping you out, like really helping, guiding her. She's a little scared. She's getting a little too comfortable, but not in a negative way. They're like, see the beauty that's around you. But I keep hearing June, July, and I see him getting pushed. June, July, pushed. I think at that moment, you're going to give her a little nudge.
Where do you want her to go?
Just not my house, but stay close.
Just not my house. What about get like a tiny house for your backyard?
No.
Still too close. All right.
Leah, how long has she been there?
What? Almost 3 years.
Can she afford?
Time to go.
Can she afford to live on her own?
Not like at the drop of a hat, but if it's planned for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's probably where the insecurity comes in and the scary part of it. Like, am I going to be able to do
June,
it?
July, get her to the casino, let her double up a couple of times. Next thing you know, she's out.
Alrighty.
All
well,
right.
thank you.
Good luck, Leah. I can hear the pain in her voice.
Wow.
She's like, anywhere but my house. My God. Hi, Gwen. How you feeling?
I'm good. I just got off work. How are you?
Great.
Good.
What do you do for a third shift?
I am actually a travel CNA.
Okay. Right. You're doing good work. You're doing the Lord's work. So we understand. I talked to you just briefly off the air. You just went through a breakup. Is that the deal?
Yeah, we're broke up. We still talk and hang out, but
So what's
I'm
your
just
question?
trying to, figure out. I guess I'm just trying to figure out if it's going to go in a relationship direction again or not.
Just booty calls or relationships here, Kim? What do you got?
No relationship.
There it is.
No relationship.
Okay.
Yep.
And it sounds, Leah, like that's what you want, right? You don't want necessarily just to kind of hang out.
Well, I was more leaning, with what she said.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good to have somebody to spend the time with, when it's like a partner versus, and booty calls are good for people, but it sounds like you want a little bit more.
You want to have the right partner, so just wait. They'll pop
Right.
up.
Okay. Awesome.
All
All
right.
right.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Leah. Gwen, I appreciate you. Have a great morning. Hi, Shauna. How you doing?
Good.
Let's talk about your son here. He's had a couple of speed bumps, huh?
Yeah, he has suffered from mental health problems, most of his life. So he's at a crossroads, wondering where to go next. He's thinking about either moving to the cities, joining the Peace Corps, doing some fishing on a salmon boat in the late summer. He just doesn't know what direction he should go, and he's looked at a couple apartments in the city, so I'm just wondering if we should be following through with that at this time.
Okay, let's start there. Kim, what do you see?
No cities.
No.
Right away, I heard no to the cities. When you were saying Peace Corps, that one felt better, but I hear still you're on the right track, but not the right area. I hear he needs structure. He needs a structured plan, so it's more like you go in and there's not that he's always being told what to do, but kind of like that. He needs structure. He needs a really good foundation. He can't be willy-nilly going on the boat. Great to go on the boat if there's structure. But if he's going out there and he has to say, critically think on his own and not having a support system right there next to him, then I hear not right. He needs to have somebody that's around that he can bounce ideas off of, and then they can kind of talk through things, make sure it's the right move, the right decision. But I hear he needs structure.
Kind of like a mentor.
Structure planned. Yeah.
Okay.
I get really, like, my head gets overwhelmed with too many, say, choices, too many ideas. And so that's where I feel like he needs, like, the autonomy, but yet he needs somebody to give him the autonomy, but yet oversee.
Yeah, his brain is always racing with different thoughts and different directions and spiraling out of control. So.
Have you ever noticed that he listens or really loves advice from a specific person? Is there someone you could reach out to and say, hey, I think he needs you right now?
Not me, obviously, as his mom.
Yeah.
Therapist, yes. Therapist actually is the one who suggested the Peace Corps.
Okay.
Oh, all right. You're on something there.
Yep. Something I hear is very similar, but not that specific direction. It's and I keep feeling it. I'm more like in a uniform, and he needs to be helping people too. Yep, Okay. I feel like I'm getting down. He would actually be really good as this is interesting. Almost like a nurse. This is wow. Like a nurse.
I suggested that to him.
Yeah. Because there's still the autonomy, but yet he has structured rules to have to follow. He's great with people. He loves to hear stories, too. So somewhere on the lines where he could be of service to help people, but yet there's a structure plan.
All right, a little something to go on there now, Shauna.
Yep.
Hello, Kimberly on line 1. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, except for my painful question I have for Kim.
No, let her rip.
I have 3 kids, 2 wonderful boys and a daughter that's 24. I have not talked to her since she's been 18, and I pray. I'm a very Christian-based person, but I don't know if I'll ever see her again.
I have a hard time seeing it happen. The age 32 to 36 is really popping up in my head big time. So somewhere in that time frame, her age, that's when I hear things will start changing. But she's got a lot of judgments towards you, the family, something. But I also see her kind of happy with what she's doing. She's really finding herself. Let her be. Don't push her. If you try to push her too hard or try to contact too hard, I look like I want to fly further away. Like I'll go across the world. So they're like, just let it be. Anywhere from the age 32 to 36, that's when I see her coming back around.
Kimberly, this has to be like one of the hardest things in the world to let your kid finally come back around to wanting to be part of your life, huh?
It's horrible, and her brothers don't want her part of my life because it's a very, very skewed ex-husband, multimillionaire who has controlled her, and she's still very impressionable, and I'm not that person, but I got 2 great boys I'll focus on and keep praying. So, yep, thank you.
All right,
I just got to say, like, sending those random texts every now and then, like, I love you and hope you're doing well. Those go far. And
not pushy, just reminding.
Exactly. And when they're not young and impressionable like that, maybe when they get a little bit older, like, oh, my mom was still always thinking about me, Yeah,
don't give up.
I love that.
Yeah. Send a text right now. Get off the phone with us and send a text right now.
I don't have her number.
Oh.
I'm guessing that most 9-year-olds with a cell phone could figure it out.
You're funny.
No.
On Facebook. She hasn't blocked Facebook, but I can't. I send her messenger messages. That's the only way I can reach out to her.
She'll see it one day, and she'll be happy you did.
Yep.
So don't give up.
I won't. Thanks, guys.
Kimberly. Take care. I got time for a couple more here real quick. We're running a little short on time. Hi, Rachel. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell us about the upcoming job interview.
Yeah. Well, I currently have a job where I do a really good job. I have great rapport with my coworkers. It's a very safe job, a lot of job security, but it does not bring my soul joy. So over the past few years, I've really taken a lot of opportunities in my free time to get skills and experience in another career, which brings me a lot of joy and satisfaction. So I have a job interview coming up for a role that aligns with what I'm looking for. But, you know, it's scary taking that leap and kind of in this economy where things seem a little unsure. So I'm just really curious what Kim sees.
Right away, I heard not that one. So I don't think you're going to get that job. But I hear you got to keep pursuing. You're definitely meant. You can stay at your job currently. Yes. That one, it does. It just feels kind of blah, but I'm good. I go there, I'm blah. But I hear you got to keep applying. So the first one that you're going to interview, I hear no. But then second one, yes. Where are they going with this guy? It's like you're on the right track. They're like, just keep applying. You have to keep applying. There's got to be another interview. So not the first one. The first one looks good. I hear you kind of get drilled on the first one. I don't know what that means, but it's like you're put under the gun, and I'm like, not that way. But you're like under the gun, and you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting it to be that, that many questions, and you get nervous, and they say that they see that inside of you, the first one. So you're like, okay, learn from that lesson. And then you're going to be better prepared for the next interview. And that one will go better.
All right, Rachel. A little on your plate now, huh?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you have a great day. Good luck.
Here's a woman proudly posting on TikTok how to go to a hotel for breakfast. Essentially it's stealing, but if they're going to have a ton left over.
Know the layout of the first floor of the hotel that you're going into and go to the elevators first. Look like you belong there, but also look like you don't need to be there. Like it's an inconvenience for you to be there. Just look so busy, be on the phone. The clipboard goes a long way. I'm already planning where I'm going for breakfast next week. Please grab stuff not for yourself. The pre-wrapped bagels and fruit. People always need food.
When I was in college, there was a party house that was about 3 blocks away from the only place in town that offered a free continental breakfast.
Yeah.
And we would get up on Saturday mornings, and if it was like before 11, we'd wander down there and walk in like we owned the place, eat a huge breakfast, be like 10 of us all stinking of beer.
Yeah.
They
if you look like you know where you're going, they won't question it. It's just like at work, if you walk really fast, nobody needs anything from you because they're like, oh my God, she's so busy.
I just look disgusted at my desk all the time. Like if I hear somebody
Very
walking down the hall, I go, and then like, Jesus, we better not talk to him right now.
We'll come back later.
Tell me something good.
All right, I'm going to start and kick it off with a story that I saw this morning. And I watched, they did this whole news story following this woman named Tracy Williams in Philly. And she's a driver for the transit department. And she just like has this great attitude, and she loves people and she loves to make them happy.
You coming in my house, I want to greet you. I want you to feel good. So I just try to make everybody feel good. And I always throw up little hearts, show, I love you or whatever. They can be standing outside and I'll just throw up hearts just to make them smile. But even when my coworkers ride past, I don't know what type of day they might be having.
This chick's got a chemical imbalance the right way.
I know.
Like she's just got all love. I love this.
Yeah, and some people will be like, why are you so happy? What's wrong with you? We need more of that. So shout out to Tracy Williams wherever you are in Philly.
Tell me something good.
How about you, Kat? Tell me something good.
Something good is our dining room is almost complete. It's kind of nice to...
3 months from today, she'll finish putting together the last chair.
I'm going to do 2 more tonight and then the final one. Maybe I can punch out all 3.
Space it out because it's taking you so long.
Listen, it hurts my wrist, that Allen wrench. I hate it, but it is just like nice to get a refresh, and I'm excited just to open the windows very soon and embrace spring, and that is what's good for me.
Tell me something good.
So what's good for me is our dryer crapped out. You know how much dryers are nowadays?
I went to Home Depot the other day. I didn't see. Yeah.
But luckily, we've got a local guy who is amazing, and he'd been out to our place to fix something, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. Came out yesterday, ripped out the heating element, put it back in, all within a half hour, and goes, how about I just charge you for the part?
Wow.
And I'm like, who does this? It was just, it was amazing.
Just to have those skills.
Oh, he's just a nice guy, too, just talking and having just just a good conversation with us. So for me, I didn't have to pay for a new dryer yesterday, just a couple $100 for a new Element. That's what's good.
Tell me something good.
Kayla, you want to tell us something good?
We got 3 eggs from our chickens finally.
Hey!
Yay!
That's
so
like,
don't they make them every day? Like, I thought you're supposed to get 12 a week, right?
Well, if they get mad, they don't lay eggs, so they've been mad at us.
Why are they so mad at you, Kayla?
We changed their coop up, and they didn't like it.
So they revenge hold eggs.
Yeah.
Their body can do that?
It's like when women hold back sex from men, chicken hold back eggs from humans.
I did not know that.
Yeah. You know that those 3 eggs are worth $400 million right now, right?
You are so rich.
At least.
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo. Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! Bingo! Time for listener bingo. This is your opportunity to jump on the air with us and give us your story. Maybe you're somebody listening who
has hit something recently. This guy was driving, but also leaving a voice note with Siri. And so when he got the message back, it was all in play after he hit a deer.
What would you like to say to the group?
Well, that is just fascinating. In the UK, they march forward on the 30th. But, oh my gosh!
It says, well, that is just fascinating in the UK. They march forward on the 30th, but oh my gosh. Send it.
The oh my gosh was as he made impact with the deer. So
I hit a skunk 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's
my
true.
truck still smells.
Does it?
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't smell
That's
it in the parking
called
lot. So you're looking for anyone listening who
has hit something recently.
And I'm looking for anyone listening who has bought a lemon. I don't know how or why. I think it's because you talk about watching Judge Judy all the time. But yesterday, I was killing time while I was waiting for the rest of our players to get their pictures taken. And on Instagram came up a reel of Judge Judy with an 18-year-old young man who was the plaintiff and then a 19-year-old young lady who was the defendant. And he had sold her the car.
Yeah.
But the day he sold her the car for cash, the engine blew up. And so they were trying to figure out, what I didn't watch the entire thing or what the ruling was, but I'm like, imagine paying $12,000 cash and you drive it for 3 hours and it blows up.
You know what? Some mechanics, if you pay them under the table to just go with you to the transaction, they'll go and do a once-over. Just say, listen, can I give you $50 to do a once-over of this car? Is it worth me buying it?
I've done that with all the used cars that my kids have bought. I take it to a mechanic. I say, I ask him, is it okay if we have a mechanic look at this? Hey, can you give us, for $100, can you give us a quick? I mean, it's not worth
If you have
throwing
nothing
down
to hide.
$10,000.
Yeah.
And you just never know. Connie, you're in the lemon category, huh?
I am.
Yeah, tell us about your lemon.
Sure. So I bought a 2007 Hummer from a dealership down in the cities, and they said mechanically everything was sound. It was good. It was going to be a great, reliable vehicle. Not even a year to owning it, I had to stick in a transmission. A year after that transmission, not even quite a year, it was still under warranty. I had to put a second transmission in.
Oh my God.
I found out it was an electrical issue. And then literally not even a year after that, the engine blew up. It was just nothing but problems.
That is crazy. And what did they say with that? You're like, listen, you said everything was good to go, that this was a sound vehicle, and now I'm spending so much money. Or did they just say, well, you bought it, deal with it?
Pretty much. Yep.
Wow.
Bought it as is. So it was out of my pocket, unfortunately.
So even with that as is, I thought there was kind of a lemon law that you had to have, it was good for so long. You just got past that moment, I'm guessing.
I think so. I mean, it was an older vehicle. 2007 nowadays is damn near ancient. So that's probably part of it.
You don't still have it, do you?
Oh, God, no. The moment the engine blew up, it sat in my yard for a while, and some other sorry sucker from the city decided to buy it and put an engine in it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Either donate it to a school or like the Cars for Kids song, you just...
But you were up front with all the problems when you sold it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was like, nope. I've put almost $3,500 into this vehicle. I don't want it anymore.
What a bummer.
I have to ask, because you don't see a lot of women driving the Hummer. Like, what? That's your jam? Like, you like a little bit of an exotic, beefy thing?
Oh, for sure. It was small. The turn radius was amazing, but it just made me feel like I was cool. So I
Yeah.
bought it.
I haven't seen a Hummer in a long time. Have you?
Yeah. What are
Text right now if you're driving around in a Hummer. I'm curious because I haven't seen one. Because I would note, like, I would say out loud, like an old person, what a gas guzzler.
My neighbor Ryan had bought one right before we moved, and it was a sharp ride. But like the old ones, the very first generation are like, so we had a radio station I worked at that had one for a station vehicle.
Yeah.
Had the big wrap and everything. But here's the problem. You can't take them through a regular car wash because the wheelbase is too wide.
Oh.
But they're so roomy and you feel so almost indestructible, right? Like you get in some cars and you're like, God, I hope I don't hit a squirrel because this thing is going to blow up. But that Hummer, I could hit cattle and I would be fine with this thing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. And what are you driving now, by the way?
I have a 2012 Tahoe, so it's much bigger and much more expensive.
And
Lots of bells and whistles.
oh yeah, I was going to say a
enjoy.
lot more features than that than you're getting out of the Hummer, isn't it?
Yes.
On Friday's show at about 8:20, right after the weekend rollout with Johnny D, you're going to get an opportunity to score $50,000. But let's concentrate on that mix. At 8 a.m., Johnny D is going to come in here. We're going to get you some free tacos and nothing but old school for like 20, 25, 30 minutes if we go a little bit long. Regardless, if you have a suggestion, get it to us by texting us at 320-251-1047 anytime. And right now, we'll wrap up the podcast. Give us the scenario here. What's going on? You got a new roommate?
Yeah. So we got a roommate. He's actually kind of new, not new. So we actually went to college together.
Okay.
So we have a rapport together. We're cool. And he wanted to move in, and I'm a single dude. I have my own place. So I was like, fine, cool. I have a basement. I can sublet to you. So, he goes down there, does his thing, whatever. The issue is I got this Tesla. And, his income is kind of helping me out so I can afford the Tesla on a monthly basis. But the thing I have the issue with is his odor is atrocious. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if something died down there and he's just he's not moved on yet. I don't know what it is, but it's bad, and I don't know the right way to tell him without offending him, because if I offend him too much, I'm afraid he'll move out, or I might just get fed up myself because I haven't told him and then tell him he has to leave, because it's getting to a point where it's affecting my daily day.
Now, so what smells? Does the basement smell? So maybe he has gross garbage down there, or does his body smell, or are we working with both?
I think you know the difference, right?
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of both, because, the garbage, he ain't wearing the garbage, and he comes upstairs, and I'm like, whoa, it's something, something's reeking down there. So I think it's with both.
You have the luxury of being a guy. Guys can talk to each other like that. Like, man, you smell so bad. If girls said that to each other, we would never speak again.
Yeah, but the thing is, if this guy adversely reacts to you talking to him that way, now what are you got to, they're going to impound your car, basically? Like, his money, you said, is basically paying for your new car.
Yeah, and also on top of that, too, it's going to be hella awkward if he just, gets super offended. And I don't want that type of, in my house. I want peace in my home, so I don't know.
Is there a nice way to say it? Is there a nice way to be like, I got to talk to you about
That's
something?
a tough one.
You stink so bad and it hurts my body.
Just got off the phone with James, who basically got a new roommate to pay for his new car. So he was living the single life, got a new car, had an extra room, kind of the basement of his home, knew this guy from college, let him move in. Now he's noticing a considerable funk. It's like having a teenager in the house.
Yeah. I think making enough mentions of it, do you think that the roommate would be like, oh, I wonder why
Some people get nose deaf, though.
Yeah.
Risa said air purifiers work wonders. Josh says, be honest. Tell him he doesn't smell. Wash your ass. Kelsey, she had to do this with an employee, and she said a lot of the time they're not aware of it, so we went to the approach of asking if they were aware of it, which was she wasn't, and a complete turnaround. Megan, you got a solution here?
I would honestly just tell him, but he could hire a cleaner and put those Ecolab automatic air fresheners all over. I think that'll give him a hint.
So
if he adds that onto his bill.
Overdo it and say, I've got to add this to your rent because there's a considerable funk coming from below the stairs?
Yeah, he can even do it to the upstairs, too. Like, there's a smell in the house. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm going to hire a cleaner to come in weekly to hopefully alleviate the smell. But I'm going to, we got to pay half on it. That's what I would do.
Is that it's just like, I would be looking out for someone if they did have a funk and people would take it as an offense, They would think that you're going behind their back and talking to everybody like my roommate smells so badly. But if you just walked up to them and said, hey, I got to talk to you about something, man to man, you reek.
Wait,
Gotta fix
and it's hard to tell if he didn't really specify if it's him that smells or if it's something that like feet or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're
So
calling
it's hard
us,
to say, is it his shoes?
it's something. It's definitely something. I remember I was 17, and like when you're 17, you really don't smell yourself. Like you douse yourself in cologne, you shower often. But I remember my dad sitting me down, and he goes, "Son, you can't smell like a nutsack the rest of your life." And I said, what?
He was so great with words, that man.
I said, wait, I don't smell. I shower after practice. I shower in the morning, cologne, deodorant. He goes, you smell like a nutsack. And I was just like, all right.
Yeah,
so you just got to eventually be
Mom
honest
of 3
with them.
teenage boys, I get it. Trust me. They smell. They smell.
What do you think it would cost? Like your solution, what do you think that costs monthly to get somebody to come in and clean and put all those air fresheners up?
To be honest with you, it's anywhere from, I'd say 50 to 100 per service. It's usually the people charge about 30 to $50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So for the course of the month, it's
so
an extra
I mean, it's
$200.
ideally it's maybe but if they split it both ways, I mean, and then they don't, it brings away that uncomfortable conversation of something reeks downstairs that died. Like I don't.
This isn't a
or
horrible
he can
solution.
just be honest and be like, I'm hiring it. No, I would just be like, I'm hiring it. I can't figure out what the smell is. You know, if you want to source it, be polite about it, but just say, hey, like there's an odor. So.
Yeah, I love this solution. Thanks, Megan. Have a great morning.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Time for drunk adult or little kid. It's a simple scenario in which our listeners provide us with something that happened to them in their life. And Kat's got to try and figure out, did this happen as a drunk adult or a little kid?
All right, bring it on.
We all heard the first one. This is Mike.
I crapped my pants while wearing a Harry Potter costume.
Okay, so good start. Drunk adult or little kid moment here, Kat?
Okay, I'm going to say, because I've been to Universal and I've seen all the Harry Potter adults that are super weird and drunk off that butterbeer or whatever, I'm going to say it was an adult.
Mike, drunk adult or little kid?
I was a drunk adult.
Hey.
I crapped my pants at a company Halloween party. It was very embarrassing. What made it worse was I was not wearing underwear, so it was quite visible.
Wow.
I was known through the office as Harry Pooper from there on.
That is clever.
That's well.
So I just want all the early 20-somethings out there like I was when I was listening to adults talk about how they poop their pants. I'm like, that will never be my reality. Listen, when you get older, life happens. Okay, so that was an easy one.
Number 2, this is Derek, not your husband, Derek.
Okay.
This is listener Derek. Drunk adult or little kid moment. What do you got?
I locked myself in a laundromat washer.
Okay.
Kid. Playing around, mom's folding clothes. I'm going to say kid.
Derek, drunk adult or little kid?
I was a drunk adult.
Oh.
My friends dared me to lock myself in one of those big washers. The problem was they were so drunk, they forgot I was in there. Night ended with me in the ER and my friends arrested.
Whoa.
That's a little wild.
Heavy.
Yeah.
That's a heavy arrest moment. You ever messed around in a laundromat, though? You know what I mean? Like, there was one, our neighborhood had one, and we would have races with those carts, and we would put kids in the dryer. There was one that we found would work, like, you know what a penny slug is?
No.
So we had this place that punched out all sorts of metal. It would be sheet metal, and then they would punch stuff out, right? Like little dots. It would look like the size of a penny.
Okay.
And it worked as a penny slug, and some of the bigger ones would work as quarter slugs. And we would dive through these dumpsters at this place. Super dangerous. Rusty, angle iron everywhere. I mean, It was just, now I look back at it, I'm like, you were just a stupid kid. But we would get a bunch of the quarter slugs and penny slugs, and we'd put them into the dryers and put friends of ours in the dryers. The problem is you got to get them out because these industrial dryers get hot fast.
Yeah.
But you get them for a couple of spins, and then you let them out. And they're all tipsy and moving around
How
and
did
stuff
you
like
get
that.
to the age you're at?
We're
I
bored.
mean,
Bored kids, and a laundromat was right there.
died.
Oh, for sure. One more for you. Drunk adults or little kid moments. Again, you're 1 for 2, so you're batting 500, which isn't horrible, but I think you can do better. This is Charlotte.
I once tried to cook an entire frozen pizza without taking it out of the box and set the kitchen on fire.
Okay.
Drunk adult or little kid? I know where I would go on this.
I'm going to say drunk adult because I've been a girl.
Same. Drunk adult or little kid, Charlotte?
I was a little kid.
Oh, wow.
I thought you could cook an entire pizza while still in the box. I mean, I had no idea. And I was only like 7 years old, but somehow I still managed to get the oven on. And I burned down part of my parents' kitchen, and they still remind me of this story to this day.
So this hits hard for me because I'm this close to not being here because of this. And the story goes, my mom and dad were dating. And my dad had this old school Catholic family. Like, because my parents got married in a Lutheran church, my great-grandmother wouldn't go to the wedding. So they're at my great-grandmother's house as they just first start dating. And my great-grandmother says, would you guys like something to eat? I think they'd gone to a movie or something like that. And my dad's like, sure, what do you got? And frozen pizzas were just kind of becoming a big thing at the time. And she threw the pizza in the oven for him and said, all right, good night, kids, I'm going to bed. But she left the cardboard underneath it.
Oh.
And the whole house filled with smoke. She forever blamed my mom because my mom was like 17 at the time.
Yeah.
She blamed my mom for not having the housewife wherewithal to be able to take the cardboard out of there and held it against her until her dying days.
So your mom ended up putting the cardboard or your grandma?
My great-grandma did, but held it against my mom by saying
deflect much?
A real housewife, Gary, she's not worthy because a real housewife would have really, really been able to know that should have come out of there. So clearly, right, it was a big-time deflection. But, you take an old-school Catholic Polish grandma, and she's going to blame everything on everybody else. But that's how close I was to not even being here. We got a call from Megan towards the end of the show about one of the white lies that she was kind of part of as a kid, and I wanted to play this back for you.
So it wasn't my white lie, it was my dad's. My twin and I were born in 1989, so in the hospital picture, we were in the bassinet wrapped up in a blanket together, and he told us for years that we were connected at birth.
That is amazing.
So then I brought it up to my mom. I don't even know how old I was, probably like 9 or 10, and she's like, that is not true.
And you were all in on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
You never said, hey, you got a scar over here or anything at all. You just thought, they figured it out and we're happy to be alone.
Yeah. Like way back then, too. Yeah.
I got your dad's number. I just know exactly what I'm picturing right now. Like the green rim around his white lawn mowing shoes. And he'll always do the thumb got cut off trick, for the kids and make them scared.
Oh, yeah. I bet he was a pull my finger kind of guy, too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was my dad. Yeah.